Although in this course, the code specialists are going to be primarily responsible for doing all of the scripting, it's still important that all students understand the basics of how scripts are made, managed, and attached to objects. In part 1 of looking at scripts, we're just going to learn how to get them up and running and what it looks like to open them up. So you'll notice that something that we need to do is create a new folder to hold our scripts. So we're nice and organized, like I talked about earlier. And inside of it, I'm actually going to create the script down here. The script is something, or any script is something that I want to exist outside of the hierarchy. It's not going to actually be an object that appears in our world, because the script is just instructions, and we don't need the instructions to be appearing somewhere. That would be kind of weird. It just needs to affect things. So we're going to create it in our long-term storage and then attach it to the things that it's going to influence. So I can go create C# script, and see this sharp symbol, awesome for C#, and it's called a new behavior script mono behavior. Coding students will have to learn more about what all of this means, but just for now, when the script is made, if I double click on it, I should see it saying opening Visual Studio. And this is going to open up our IDE, our development environment that we use to actually write the script information. And it's appearing on my other screen right now, loading my project. So awkward. I was hoping that you would see this all loading, so I'll just kind of ramble on incoherently for a little bit. Well, oh, and there it's loaded. Awesome. Okay, so here's what should have appeared on the screen, and a quick overview of a script so that we all have the basic understanding of things. This top portion where anything says using, this is talking about the libraries and existing code bases that we're connected with. So anything in collections, the generic collections, or the Unity engine, which is all of the functionality the Unity engine itself is built upon, we have access to all that behavior. Using just means link us in. Now we have a public class. A class is kind of the most outer layer of all the code that we write. And we see these open and closing brackets that contain other behaviors. 2 behaviors built out of the box. Start. This code is called before the first frame update, meaning it runs immediately once the game starts or once the script is activated. Our update method is called once per frame. If you don't know what a frame is, we'll talk about it a bit more in class, but very briefly, it's how often, well, a frame is one refresh of the visual information in the scene. And depending on how fast your computer is, it can maybe pump out more frames per second or less, but each time a frame is created or changed to, we run the behavior here. So anything that needs to be run once and set up goes here, and anything that needs to be happening constantly, for example, detecting player controls or making something move, needs to happen in our update method. And the last bit of our core part 1, we're going to make some simple scripting to get some player interaction up and running.